When he was growing up, Bryan Ball was like many young boys, running around for hours on end, playing Cowboys and Indians or Little League Baseball. The All-American kid from Goodwill Heritage practically grew up with a gun in his hands, and in 2007, paid a visit to his local Army recruiter to make an announcement.
I walked in and said, hey, I want to jump out of planes and shoot machine guns and get paid for it. And he said, sign right here. Best job I've ever had. You know, I loved it. I loved doing my job. I think that's what I was meant to do. I loved the guys I was doing it with, and I consider myself very lucky to have been able to do it.
His career was cut short in Afghanistan on December 22nd, 2009. On a routine patrol, he came across every soldier's worst fear, an IED. 4 daisy-chained 82mm mortars knocked him unconscious, his body filled with shrapnel. He lost a finger and half of his large intestine. Rushed by helicopter to hospital, Bryan spent the next few hours in surgery, wondering what the future would hold. Back at home, his girlfriend Jessica got the call that she had dreaded since the day he was deployed.
I was at work and I had spoken to Bryan's dad that morning. It was about 2 hours later and he called me again, and I just had this sinking feeling in my stomach that, you know, he shouldn't have been calling me back. I knew something wasn't right. And his dad broke down on the phone and said, you know, Bryan was hit by IED, and it was just, the world stopped spinning. Because we didn't know any details. We just knew he had been hit and he was being medevaced out of the country.
Bryan would eventually make a full recovery and marry Jessica. But like many veterans returning home, transitioning back to civilian life would be a challenge. Bryan is now currently enrolled at UT San Antonio studying engineering. The Military Warrior Support Foundation was set up to help with the transition, specifically by helping with housing. In association with Chase Bank, they provided a mortgage-free program called the Homes for Wounded Heroes. Last Friday night, before the game between Goodwill Heritage and LV Bell, Bryan and Jessica were presented with the key to a renovated home in Cedar Hill. On Saturday, the happy couple drove to see their new house for the first time, still stunned at their good fortune.
Never think that it's actually going to happen. We knew we were in the running for the house. They had contacted us before about it, but you never think it's going to happen, you know. I mean, a free house, I mean, come on. I mean, I can't believe it actually happened. When you talk about a weight off your shoulders, to know that you got a place to go. You don't have a job anymore and pay gets cut and all that. To know that you have a place to go, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, that's huge. And it really hasn't hit yet. I'm sure it will. And I feel so lucky to have it, and I really want to thank the Chase Bank that actually donated the house, and Goodwill that's put everything together, and for us, for my whole family.